I respect my dad's new girlfriend more than my mom. My mom cheated on my dad 7 years ago with my stepdad. I was 10 at that time. I knew that my mom had another boyfriend that made them to get a divorce. My dad was devastated to say the least. My dad fought hard to get custody from my mom because he did not want to lose me at all. He did end up getting 50-50. Ever since my parents' divorce, I've hated my mom. I hated that she hurt my dad. I remember my dad drinking himself to sleep after the divorce. I was 11 and had to push him out of the couch and cleaned his vomit. I saw what my mom did to my dad, and my stepdad was also to blame for it. My dad did clean up and started to make changes in his life and became a good father figure for me. But he still suffered from the aftermath of my mom's infidelity. He was finally in a better place now. He has worked enough to build a relationship with me too. Suffice to say, the relationship I had with my mom never recovered. I hated going to her place and watching her play family with some random guy. She never made an effort to keep our family together, yet she happily became the loving wife to him. I hated him too. My mom tried really hard to make me forgive her. She said sorry and apologized. I never missed a chance to remind her that she was the one who broke my family. It will make her cry that her own daughter wants nothing to do with her, but I didn't care. I would lock myself in my room the entire time and not come out. I was always loud and clear that I don't like my stepdad, even though he also tried to make it up to me. Any gift he would give me, I would just give it away. Last year my mom, Alan, and I had a huge fight. I called my mom a cheating woman who destroyed my family. I also called Alan a homewrecker and said, I hope your own son gets cheated on so that you know what the pain is like. Alan screamed at me that he is tired of my nonsense. I left their house and went to stay with Dad. I thought it was so unfair that my mom lives happily ever after and my dad was left behind to pick the pieces of our broken home. That's when my dad sat me down and told me that I should have never talked to my mom like that. Sure, she made a bad choice, but she is still my mother. And then he told me he forgave her, and it is for the best that I forgive her because it will make me free. My dad went on to explain that in his therapy he realized his marriage had problems. He thought that just because everything was going on a routine and there was silence, he took it as a sign that everything was fine. However, he learned a lot about relationships and himself over the last 7 years and has tried to become someone I could look up to. He tells me he is dating someone else and he is happy with the life he is now, though there are some triggers. I was happy to hear that my dad was doing okay. And it made me realize I was being irrational. I am still mad at mom, but I decided to give her a chance. I said sorry to both my mom and stepdad. I also said sorry to my stepbrother and my half-brother. Things have been calm and cool for a while. I met my dad's girlfriend. She seems awesome. She has 2 kids who are under 10. Though she is much younger than my dad, I didn't care. As long as dad is happy, I'm happy for him. So, a few days ago, I was chatting with my mom. I brought up the fact that I met my dad's girlfriend this week and she seems nice. My mom's expression changes. She went from having a smile to frowning. She says, I didn't know your dad was dating. I said I didn't either, but my dad is taking things slow. I told her she is really nice and cool. My mom then lashed out and called me a hypocrite. She said that for years her stepdad and her have been trying hard to make me forgive them. They went out of their ways to make it right. And I still didn't accept them. But I accepted my dad's girlfriend in a heartbeat, and suddenly she is this cool step-parent. I was angry too, so I blurted out, at least she didn't cheat on my dad like you. I also said that I would never accept my stepdad as a good human because he is the reason why I grew up in a broken family. That I do not owe them anything after how they treated my dad. I respect my dad's girlfriend more than I respect them because at least she didn't cheat on him and left him to pick up the broken pieces of our family. In fact, she is the reason why dad is happy now, and she will always be above my stepdad. I stormed out and stayed with friends. I know I shouldn't have said that. I mean, firstly, my dad and his girlfriend have only been dating for 6 months. My mom and dad were married for 13 years. And I felt like I oversold their relationship to mom. I respect my dad's new girlfriend more than my mom. Many people criticized my dad for being an alcoholic. Well, he is not an alcoholic. He hasn't drank in 6 years. Yes, I did mention that he drowned his pain in alcohol when my mom cheated and after the divorce, but he stopped when he saw me trying to clean up his vomit. I know he was wrong. But he has done literally everything to make it up to me. He went to rehab and threw away all the alcoholic drinks in the house. He went to therapy and worked hard on his career. He even got me to therapy. He has apologized for his toxic behavior and also tried his best to keep our family together. He has always made an open space for me to express my feelings. I feel safe with him, I trust him. He never badmouthed my mother in front of me. Yes, he still suffers from anxiety, but he has it under control. I hated watching his and our lives getting uprooted. So, I don't think it is fair for you guys to blame my dad only when he changed for me. He came clean. He stopped being an alcoholic. But say this to me, can my mother undo her infidelity? Also, I know their marriage had problems, but is cheating the right thing for her to do? And I haven't mentioned a major thing, that is my stepdad and my dad used to be friends until the discovery of my mom's infidelity. He cut him off his life too. So yeah, you can imagine the pain both me and my dad went through. But I am proud of him for keeping his head straight. I talked to my dad and arranged therapy with my old therapist. I also suggested that we need family therapy as well. My dad fully supported me and said he will look into it. Lastly, I called my mom to say sorry, but instead my stepdad picked it up. I asked for my mom and he said that mom has locked herself in their bedroom because she is pissed. My mom has this habit that whenever she is mad she locks herself in a room. I asked why. He said that they had a fight about my dad. Basically, my mom had a hint that my dad was dating someone a few weeks ago when he saw him at the local market with his girlfriend. At that time, I knew he had a girlfriend but didn't tell mom. She took the liberty to track her on Facebook. My stepdad has caught her several times looking at my dad's girlfriend. There were pictures of dad and her too. So, their argument was that my mom was basically obsessed with my dad's girlfriend and has been stalking her. My stepdad said it's best that I do not speak to her for a while because she clearly has some issues of her own.